Okay. Hi, class. Good morning. I am here to have my comprehensive discussion on our last topic for the third exam topic coverage, which is proposal, purpose, and format. Well, for most of you, I think you already have an idea about the functionality of a proposal in the corporate world. While reading on your responses in the open forum, I found out that you have varied ideas when it comes to the importance of a proposal. If I were to look at the commonalities among your answers, I could say that most of you answered that proposals are very vital in the corporate world because they allow you to prepare for a specific business and to give the recipient of, let's say, the proposal an idea on the nitty-gritty details of the proposal itself. So in order for you to fully understand what a proposal is all about, I'm going to discuss to you first its purpose, giving you a glimpse on the difference between internal and external proposal. And later on, I will also provide you a simplified discussion of the format, just to give you an idea on how a proposal is written. Gerson and Gerson in 2012 maintained that your goal in writing a proposal is to sell an idea persuasively. That is the ultimate goal when writing a proposal. When writing a proposal, it is very important that you be persuasive enough so that the other party will be able to really have that realization that there is a need to buy your proposal or to buy your ideas. And when writing a proposal as well, it is very important to consider the tenor, the manner, or the tone on how you write your proposal because it will also it will also be a factor on the end of the one making the decision as to go with the proposal or not, to accept or to reject the proposal. Generally, proposals can be classified into two. So first one, the internal proposal, and the second one is the external proposal. So I'll give you the differences between these two. First is the internal proposal. This is used to convey ideas to offer upper level management. So the topic is large and definitely it will require extensive financial obligations because it is going to work, the internal proposal needs to be comprehensive enough. And so if it is intended to be comprehensive enough, then financial details need to be included also in the proposal. It also requires time for planning, of course, and a commitment to new staffing. A short, informal report will not suffice when writing an internal proposal, since I mentioned that it has to be comprehensive enough. While doing an informal or a short report about a certain business proposal or an idea will definitely not be enough. In contrast, you have to write a type of longer, formal report. It is an internal proposal for your company's management. For example, you are currently assigned in Department A of Company X, and you would like to suggest a new idea or maybe a program or a service to the upper level management. Unless you are given the chance to present it physically, well, the best means that you could have these suggestions or recommendations reach the upper level management is by writing an internal proposal. So an internal proposal will definitely help you relay or channel your ideas, the brilliant ones, for consideration by the upper level management. The second type of proposal is the external proposal. This is written to sell a new service or product to an audience outside your company. So this one requires an intercorporate transaction. Your responsibility here is to write an external proposal selling the benefits of the new corporate offering to a prospective client. For example, you are working in a poultry farm and you have seen a posting by a certain company looking for the lowest bid for poultry supplies or let's say dairy products. And you have noticed as well that this company, let's label it company Z, badly needs to do cost cutting because of the current pandemic. So what we'll do as a poultry farm or a company engaged in poultry business or poultry industry, you will have to write an external proposal addressed to the management of company Z proposing that you could offer cheap poultry products to the said company. And the external proposal need not to be that comprehensive for as long as all the details needed by Company Z are there. And in order for you to create a comprehensive one for this external proposal, you will have to make sure to include only those essential data or essential information that will help the other party fully understand the nature and the conditions of your proposal. So that is the purpose of an external proposal. So at this juncture, allow me to present to you the format. Well, just like when you write a feasibility report, we could not really affirm that there is this sort of universality when it comes to the format used when writing technical documents. However, it depends from one institution to another. So the format that I will be presenting to all of you is just to give you an idea on how to write a basic proposal. Well, there could be other inclusions in the proposal depending on the nature of the proposal that you are giving the other party. So to guide your readers through a proposal, Gerson and Gerson 2012 suggest the following contents of proposal. So first one, it must have a title page. Second, it must have a cover letter. Of course, table of contents section needs to be present. There should be list of illustrations, abstract, or we also call it as the executive summary, the introduction, the discussion, which is to be considered as the body of the proposal, and then conclusion or recommendation, and glossary. We also have works cited or the references page and appendix or appendices for many attachments. So I'm going to discuss each of these parts so that you will have an idea on how to write each segment of a proposal. So first one is the abstract, or we call it as the executive summary. Readers do not have all the luxury of time to read everything in your proposal. So therefore, they need a concise or a brief summary about your proposal so that at first glance, they could already have the gist of the proposal and perhaps they could have an initial or preliminary decision on whether or not to accept the proposal. So readers need information quickly and they need it presented in low-tech terminology. So when I say low-tech terminology, everything should not be jargons. The terms used must be layman's terms so that everything could be easily understood by the readers. This can be achieved through an abstract or executive summary. The abstract, limited to approximately 3 to 10 sentences only, so imagine how short that should be, presents the problems leading to your proposal, the suggested solutions, and the benefits of your audience will derive. So basically, when you say an abstract, it's just a summary of everything that you have written in the introduction, the body, and the conclusion of your proposal. Okay? The second part is the introduction. Your introduction should include two primary sections. First one, discuss the purpose, and second, elaborate on the problem. For the purpose, in 1 to 3 sentences only, tell your readers the purpose of your proposal. So it doesn't have to be that complex. You just have to go straightforward, discuss everything that needs to be presented immediately, such as the very purpose why you are doing that proposal. Okay? Your purpose statement clarifies the proposal's context. Now, for the second portion, which is the problem, it has to be a needs analysis. Okay? It is a must to have the importance of the proposal clarified. So since you have already presented the purpose, might as well go to the grassroots. Why, in the first place, you are doing such a proposal. And so, in order for you to complete the introduction, it must be an interweaved paragraph of both purpose and problem. Maybe you could present first the problem and then you lead towards the purpose, or you start otherwise. You present first the purpose and then discuss or explain the problem at hand. Okay? The next part is the discussion. So when writing the text for your proposal, you have to sell your ideas persuasively. You have to develop your ideas thoroughly through research. You also have to observe ethical, technical communication standards. And since we have this necessity to secure all personal data, well, we have to always consider the Data Privacy Act, the Data Privacy Law rather. And then you also need to organize your content so the audience can follow your thoughts easily. And I suggest you also use graphics. Now, in the modern times, we are using, or we are shying away from the use of traditional or descriptive proposals. Usually what we do is that we use infographics or graphics, graphs, charts, all of these non-post materials in order for us to create a substantial and creative or innovative way of presenting the discussion or the analysis. Okay, so here in the discussion, all you have to do is just to develop your ideas, present the products or services you are trying to propose and the benefits perhaps. And you could also look at the conditions. You present the conditions if necessary. You could also present the other details about the specific, let's say, programs or services that you have indicated in the discussion. Through that, your readers could have an overall view of, or an overview rather, of the thing that you are, or the idea that you are proposing to them. Okay. Another vital element is the conclusional recommendation. So to sum up your proposal, giving your readers closure is very important. So the conclusion can restate the problem and then provide your solutions and the benefits to be derived. So your recommendation will also be based on the conclusion. So here you will have to suggest the next course of action. So specify when this action will or should occur and why that date is very important. So for example, if it is a business proposal, then here in the introduction part, you will have to present, let's say, the background of the problem. So given that there is this kind of problem, you are making this proposal and then explain your purpose. Maybe, for example, the purpose is to ease the difficulties or the challenges experienced by company A. So you are doing this proposal to them, and then you are offering your products and services. Now, if you proceed to the discussion portion, here you will have to strategize on how you could present the nitty-gritty details of the proposal. So in the discussion portion, maybe you could present in detail the programs and services that you are trying to offer or propose based on the problem that is existing. Okay? And then conclusion is just a summary of the things that you have discussed. And then you recommend, for example, you strongly recommend that company A purchase this product that you are offering because it will blah, 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 blah. Okay? So it's just going to be like that. So presented in the succeeding pages, guys, is a sample of an external proposal. So this external proposal definitely is a type of proposal which is given from company A to company B. Okay, let's take a look. So this is the cover page. Proposal for reducing oxygen expenses. Then, of course, you have to indicate who prepared the proposal and for whom the proposal is prepared. And then the date of completion of the proposal or the date of submission of the said proposal. And then this is the cover letter. Now, a cover letter is also very important because the cover letter will somehow be the official instrument or tool for you to relay that you are proposing something. So instead of asking the reader to immediately read the proposal, why not give the reader first a glimpse of what the proposal is all about through a cover letter? And also through this cover letter, you are giving the reader a chance to be convinced at the initial stage that that proposal needs to be catered or that proposal needs to be entertained. Okay? So here you're going to write your cover letter, explain everything, what's about the proposal, and then indicate there that there's a need for the client to entertain or to affirm the proposal, like that. And then we have here the table of contents. So the table of contents needs to be very detailed as well. And then if you have illustrations or graphics or infographics, you need to include them in your list of illustrations. So you have to put here figure 1, or if it's a table. But in other formats, they separate list of tables and list of figures. But based on this format, there's only one list of illustrations, combining both figures and tables in just one list. Okay? And then here's the abstract. So if you look carefully at the abstract, it's just brief. Okay, it may be three paragraphs or less, with just a minimum number of sentences as what I discussed a while ago. So the abstract needs to be very brief so that the readers could have a general view of what the proposal is all about. So it's just like that. And then here is the introduction. So if you notice, the purpose and the problems were separated here in the presentation. And then under the problems, there is a detailed discussion on the problems. And because there are a number of problems, here comes the discussion. So the discussion here is now the proposal, the actual proposal, based on the problems that you have indicated or identified here. So, for example, we have here high costs, governmental insurance or involvement, decreased quality of service. So since these problems are extant, here are the following proposals. So implementation of electronic demand cannula, yeah. And then figures were also used to discuss everything, technical description. So everything must be indicated there. So imagine this one is a proposal for an external proposal so that company B or the recipient could purchase or would be convinced to purchase this kind of equipment. Okay. So in order for your proposal to be convincing enough, then you have to put all the details, most especially the salient or the important ones. Okay. So this is the discussion. And personnel could also be included. Of course, cost, if it is a business proposal, needs to be included as well. And then you come up with a conclusion and a recommendation as well, a set of recommendations. Now, a glossary is also very important because a glossary lists all the terms that you have used in your proposal. Without a glossary, the reader might not be able to fully understand the jargons or the technical terms used in your technical descriptions. So, make sure that you include a glossary, most especially if there are sections or terms used that which may be very difficult for the readers to comprehend. So through that, they could really have 360-degree understanding of your proposal, may it be internal or external in nature. Yeah, list of acronyms and abbreviations could also be included. Okay, so overall, guys, a proposal needs to be written in order for you to make sure that whenever you propose an idea or a business, everything comes handy on the end of the reader. Okay. Anyway, your goal here is to convince the second party to avail of the programs or services you are offering through the proposal. Okay, or to buy your idea, to consider your idea, or maybe the mechanism that you are proposing. Now, for some of you, you might be asking, sir, what's really the difference between a feasibility report and a proposal? If it is a feasibility report, you are looking at the marketability or profitability of something. Okay, if it is a feasibility report intended for a business plan. Or it may also look at whether or not it is feasible to have this kind of mechanism in your company. So just like the proposal, in a feasibility report, you also identify the problem and you also propose suggestions or recommendations. But the very core of a feasibility report is that there is this focus on a big focus on the problem solving. Okay, big focus on the problem solving, and at the same time, if you're the one writing the feasibility report, you would also look at whether or not it is practicable to have that kind of idea or that proposal. But for a proposal, all you have to do is just to propose something to the company or to another company or to another person or to another party and convince them persuasively that your idea must be bought, okay, or considered, or your recommendations should also be considered. Okay, so that's a proposal. Okay, so I hope I made everything clear, guys. So if you have further questions, I'll be posting this video discussion in the open forum section of our LMS room. And if you have further questions about my discussion, you can key in your questions there. And make sure to be very clear with your questions so that I could also give you clarity with regard to your concerns. Okay, so that's for it, guys. Since I am done with this one, I think you are all now ready to take the third examination. So for the third examination, we have the coverage. Topics or included topics are feasibility report and proposal writing. Okay, thank you very much, guys. Please do make sure to watch all of the videos that I'm uploading in our LMS so that you could really have a full understanding of all the lessons in our scene. Okay, thank you, guys. Have a great day.